It was 1 year ago. Immigration operations across Southern California sent fear through communities like Huntington Park, an immigrant majority city where many families suddenly found themselves afraid to go to work or take their children to school. Mekahlo Medina has more.
In Huntington Park, the streets struggle to come alive. Music spills out of stores, trying to look for customers. Families gathered at elote stands, still worried about who might be around the corner. The new normal that many say started here a year ago.
Last year, it was very scary to the point where literally we could just see ice around the corner.
When immigration operations swept through Southern California a year ago, this community was among the hardest hit. Federal agents seen entering homes. In this surveillance video, some of them were armed, as the former head of DHS, Kristi Noem, stood outside with agents. Neighbors we spoke to remember the panic, the fear spreading from block to block, leaving families wondering who would be next.
Con miedo.
Store owner Geraldo Vega says families lived in fear then and still do today, 1 year later. He says some of his workers still stay home and some businesses lost customers overnight, like his.
La gente no sale, las calles están vacías.
He says the people do not come out and the streets are empty.
Casi no pasa gente. Bajó mucho.
Magdalena Lopez says the same thing. Business at her ice cream shop is way down on Pacific Avenue. She is selling the shop, blaming the ICE operations.
Even myself, I've become a little extra more cautious of where I'm at, how long I'm out, and how long and when I'm back.
Even now?
Even now.
Stephanie Lopez, a U.S. citizen who was born and raised in Huntington Park, says what changed most was something harder to measure, a sense of security that many families here still haven't fully regained.
There seems to be just a lot of trauma that you have to process still.
Yeah.
She says most Latinos she knows still fear being targeted for how they look or if they speak Spanish. DHS has repeatedly stated that officers do not use skin color, race, or ethnicity as a basis for enforcement.
It makes me a little bit more paranoid, especially if I see like something unusual, then I just try to avoid it as much as possible.
Queda uno traumado.
Elote seller Antonia Hernandez says the operations traumatized her. She stopped working for about a month and relied on friends and family financially and emotionally to get through the operations a year ago. Today, she's back on the streets, trying to make a living, trying to move forward, even while carrying memories she says are difficult to leave behind. In Huntington Park, I'm Mekahlo Medina, NBC4 News.